I ride a Panigale, and this weekend I found out what happens to someone like me on the opposite of a Panigale. Ducati London gave me this for the whole weekend whilst my bike is having an exhaust fitted. I'm not going to pretend this is mine. It's a demo. It goes back Monday. But I've had it 2 full days now, and the strangest thing has happened. I've barely ridden it fast once. And I haven't missed it. If you know what I ride, that's the most out of character thing I can open a video up with. So let me explain this bike properly, because I'm coming at it from an angle most reviewers can't. Almost everyone reviewing this bike is an adventure rider, comparing it to other adventure bikes. Useful, but no help if you're coming from the other side of the garage. I'm coming off a Panigale V2S, clip-ons, weights on your wrist, everything pointed forwards. A bike where every single ride is a quiet negotiation with yourself about how much you're going to hold back today. And this 21-inch front wheels, long suspension, you sit in the world instead of crouched over it. Two completely different answers in the question, what is a motorcycle for? And spending a weekend jumping between them teaches you more about both bikes than any spec sheet ever will. So here's the plan. What's actually new on this generation, what it's like to ride, coming from where I come from, what it's like to live with, which is where this bike quietly wins. Who's it for? Who it isn't. And there's a real verdict, not a score. So what's new? This is the second generation Ducati DesertX. And it's not an update. They rebuilt the whole motorcycle. New engine, the 890cc V2. Same engine family as the new Panigale V2, which is a strange, lovely bit of symmetry for me. It's the lightest twin Ducati has ever made. New frame, the trellis is gone. This is a monocoque now. Look at the shape of this. Everything on it looks like it is there because it has a job. And now the controversial bit, no desmo. The valve system Ducati built is entire mythology on is not in this engine. I ride the badge, I know the history, I understand the emotional argument. Now let me give you the practical one. Valve clearance checks on this engine every 45,000 kilometers. 45,000. Some riders won't even cover that in 10 years. That is the difference between a bike you own and a bike that owns you. And in 5 years, I don't think anyone is still making the desmo argument. The numbers, 110 horsepower, 92 Newton meters of torque, and I know what 110 sounds like if you're used to a superbike numbers, like myself. It sounds like a compromise. It truly isn't. Here's why. 70% of that torque arrives at 3,000 RPM. 3,000. On a bike, that's the engine still clearing its throat. On this, it's already pulling. So you don't ride this bike in the revs, you ride it in the first third of the throttle. Junctions, roundabouts, overtakes, it's just there. No ceremony. The gearbox is clever too. First 4 gears are short. Walking pace control over rough stuff. 6 is so long, so the motorway isn't a punishment. A quick shifter both ways. Standard 6 riding modes, including enduro, rally, cornering, ABS you can wind down or switch off completely for the dirt. There's a 5-inch screen joystick on the left bar, one of the better dashes I've used. Nothing you need while moving is buried 3 menus deep. Now the honest number, 209 kilos without fuel. That's 1 kilo lighter than the old bike. One. They redesigned the whole entire motorcycle and it lost a kilo. You feel that weight exactly twice, pushing it around a car park and feet down at a standstill. And on feet down, actually. It's easier to show you than tell you. It's a very beautiful piece. 880 mil seat height. Low seat takes it to 86. And the low suspension kit, and you're already at 80/40. I'm on my toes more than I would be on a Panigale. Shorter rides sit on you before you order anything. But here's the thing about the weight and the height. Rolling, you stop noticing. Both inside 4 seconds, it carries everything low. Right, what actually happens when a sports bike rider gets on this? 3 things in order. 1, your posture changes. Your breathing follows it. Upright bars, wide head, over the head in traffic. You see over cars, not around them. 10 minutes in, I noticed I was breathing slower. I'm not exaggerating. That for the content. Open your chest, your breathing changes. That's just bodies. 2, the road stops being your enemy. London roads are hostile. On the Panigale, I know every bad patch on every route I ride because I feel all of them. On this, speed bumps stop being events. Potholes get demoted to texture. There's a stretch near me that makes me wince on my bike. I went looking for it on this and I couldn't tell you when I crossed it. 3, and this is the one that got me. Nothing rushes you. The Panigale always has an opinion about how you should be riding. This has no opinion at all. It will do 110 horsepower worth of moving when you ask. And until you ask, it's completely at peace. I don't know a Ducati could be at peace. Now that's what I can't tell you, is the off-road half. It's a demo. I wasn't taking someone else's bike into the dirt. This thing was developed off the back of actual rally racing. And the people who've tested it there rate it. But I'm not going to narrate an experience I didn't have and I don't have. I can't give you that. I can only give you the road half. And this is where most owners living with it anyway. This is the section most reviewers skip, and it's the most one that decides whether you keep a bike 3 months or 3 years. 18-liter fuel tank, optional, extra rear tank for the fuel. Genuinely long stuff. Tubeless spoked wheels, so a nail end doesn't ruin your day. You plug it at the roadside. Those service intervals, 2 USB ports, factory luggage, hard and soft, actually designed for it. None of that is exciting. That's the point. This bike was designed by people who thought not about a Tuesday, not just a Sunday. My bike is an extraordinary piece of art on a Sunday and mildly resents me the rest of the week. This one? It doesn't do a resentment price. It actually launched under 15 grand here, undercutting the old model. Check current pricing with your dealer. Launch offers move. But for what's underneath it, it's aggressive. There are adventure bikes with less on them, costing so much more. So who's it for? Let me qualify this properly because it's brilliant. It's useless to you. If you want a bike that makes you feel like you got away with something that isn't. That spike, that little hit of what was just way too much, it doesn't deal in any of that. You want the sharp end of the range, and I'd completely understand you. If your riding is 10 miles to work and back, This is a lot of motorcycle for that job. It's built to go somewhere. It wants a destination you haven't been to yet. But if you've been on something aggressive for a few years and you're starting to notice that you arrive everywhere tense, that riding has quietly become another thing you have to be good at, this bike will make sense to you within a mile. It did to me, faster than I ever wanted it to. And one thing that I really like is the way it actually looks. I mean, it looks amazing. You know, the verdict, it isn't a score. It's this. The Panigale and the DesertX aren't competing answers. They're different questions. The Panigale, it asks you, how good are you? This asks you where you want to go. And I've realized this weekend that I've spent years only ever answering the first question. On bikes, maybe not only on bikes. You can tell a lot about a person by what they need their machine to do for them. I ride a sports bike because part of me likes being asked to be sharp. Something demanding my full attention means nothing else can have it. That's not entirely a healthy reason to choose a motorcycle. And it might be the most honest thing I've said on this channel. There's a whole other video in what this weekend did to my head. It's coming. It doesn't fit inside a review. But as a review, here's where I land. This is the most complete bike Ducati makes for a person who wants their motorcycle to be a door instead of a mirror. If that sentence means something to you, go and sit on one. Actually, there's the one thing, and it's not advice. You can leave it whatever the version of this is for you. The machine or that thing doesn't fit who everyone knows you are. Go and sit on it. You're not committing to anything. You're just allowed to find out. I hand this Ducati DesertX V2 on Monday morning. I'm collecting my Panigale with a new titanium exhaust on it. And I'm genuinely excited about all of that. Both things are true. And I still don't know if I'd actually buy one of these.